All right, well, time for a little update. Uh, Unfortunately, as we can see, the engine is out again. However, I think have finally figured out what the issue was after all this time since the spring. I had mentioned a while back, that I had gotten some bad advice, and then later said it. Well, maybe not bad advice, just I didn't understand the advice. It was a little incomplete about how the timing chains were supposed to be all set, and as part of that, I was having some problems. So I had to take it back apart again and check and realign the timing and everything like that. Well, along with that, we had done a leak down test, and it was low on compression on the passenger side. That I've been talking about, all those issues. Excuse me. And couldn't figure out why. Couldn't figure out why. Because the leak down test was okay. And somebody in one of the videos had commented, about, you sure you didn't bend a valve? Because, even turning that over by hand, you could bend a valve if the timing was off. Well, that person was right. So it had been probably 6, 7 years since I had used my leak down tester, and I had forgotten the proper way to use it. So when I was doing the leak down test, I was actually testing it incorrectly. So that's why it was showing such low leak down of 7 to 11%, which I thought at the time, I'm like, man, that's really good. But I was also thinking, well, maybe it's just those new gapless rings are doing such a good job. Well, no, it turns out I just wasn't doing it correctly. So a friend of mine was over the other day, and we were doing it, and he's like, this doesn't seem right. And so I was, because we put the compression tester on, he put his finger over it and was turning the engine over, and he's like, there's just nothing there, like no compression at all. So I was reading through the instructions, and lo and behold, yep, I was actually doing it wrong. So with the compression test. So we tried the compression test, and yep, sure as can be, like 75, 80% loss on that cylinder. So definitely my fault. Just was doing the wrong, or was using the leak down tester wrong. Otherwise, car would have probably been up and going by now, because it would have found this out a lot sooner. But so what we discovered was we got bent valves on the passenger side, which is why that side was super low on compression and causing the issues. Good news, the car wants to run. It was basically running on 4 cylinders, basically just on the driver's side. The passenger side, maybe number one, number one may have been firing a little bit, but was only at 40, 50 pounds, maybe 70 pounds there at the end. Number three might have had a little bit, so maybe it was running on I'm barely running on a couple, but in essence, it was running on 4 cylinders. So that was the issue. Like I said, just my bad. It wasn't. I wish I would have not listened to that person in the first place, or maybe they could have explained it better. But had I guess, not done that, she would have been up and running this spring. So. But anyways, like I said, positive is I know the car runs. It wants to run. It was willing to run on 4 cylinders. So when I get it back together, after I replace the valves and replace all the valves on the passenger side, shouldn't have any problems then, because like I said, it wants to run, and I shouldn't have to be worried about it, because after last summer, never really understood, or was able to finally ever figure out why, pulled in the garage, it was running, and next day it just didn't want to run at all. Obviously that one rocker was a little bit of a problem, but it should have still run, even with one bad rocker, and it never did anymore. So I was not sure if the car would even run, given we never really did understand. But now I know it will run, so should be good to go. So the engine's out. I have it out already, and I have it torn down, as we can see. I got new head gaskets here that showed up yesterday, and the new valves will be here tomorrow, hopefully, if the tracking information is correct. So they should be here tomorrow. Just going to replace the valves on the passenger side. Valves have gone up a lot since in the 6 years since I had the heads ported on this, and had all new valves, upgraded valves put in. They have gone up significantly in price. So even just replacing half the valves on the passenger side was pretty expensive. But like I said, we'll see. The other thing I found was that I had a little bit of a oil leak this last time, and I couldn't really figure out why. Well, I did figure out why now. Don't know if it'll really show up there on camera, but right there is a little bit of a crack in that, right by the oil pressure switch sensor. There is a bit of a crack right there, and that's where the oil was coming out. So I don't know if I over tightened it a little bit or where that came from, but that's definitely where my oil leak is. So I'm going to talk to Fab Shop tomorrow and see if he can do me a favor and get me in quick, and if he can get that welded up on that cast aluminum. So hopefully he can, and he can get that cranked out and get that taken care of, but we will see. But that is the process. So not good news on one hand, but on the other hand, good news. We now know what the problem is. Once it goes back together, shouldn't have any issues, because now we know why the compression's not been good on that one side, and been fighting that for months and months, and now we know. So hopefully that is the end of all the issues, and can maybe still get the car running yet, for a month or a month and a half yet, before the end of the year or before the end of the season. So that's where we're at, but I won't blab on any longer, but just kind of wanted to give everybody an update and let everybody know that's what it is. Again, I don't remember who it was, but I appreciate your suggestion about the bent valves, and you were absolutely correct. And just my bad on been too long since I used that leak down tester, and I forgot. I probably should have refreshed my memory and read the instructions on it. So, well, anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.